Yo, what is up? What is bragging? It is your boy, the DJC, aka TheDonJuanCarlos. We're here for some more Destiny 2 videos. You know the vibes, you feel the vibrations. We got a tier list for all of the perks in the game. Does not include exotic perks or enchanted perks or none of that. We're just running around with any perk that you can get in the game right now in schedule. I said scheduling and listing them how they properly should. So we got 89 perks available to us. There are also perks that are in the game that we can't access. So we're just gonna go through all of them. I also added Seraph rounds, as you can see down here. Even though it's technically not a perk, it's still a unique perk to a certain gun. So it's still pretty hot. You feel me? So we're just gonna get started. We got at the top of the list, we have Ambitious Assassin. So Ambitious Assassin, if you don't know, if you get a kill or get multiple kills, your next magazine overflows with extra bullets depending on the amount of kills that you get, which normally it's not really that great. However, Ambitious Assassin on Salvager Salvo and use and really anything that's special is pretty good. But because it's not good on because it's not good on kinetics, Ambitious Assassin goes right to A. Thing. It's great. It's great. Nothing to really complain about. It's just right in the middle of the pack. You don't want it on your kinetics, but if you get a special with Ambitious Assassin, like grenade launcher or heavy, kind of wild. It's kind of wild. Anyway, so then we got Archer's Tempo. Archer's Tempo, if you don't know, only rolls on bows. If you get a headshot with a bow, it decreases the draw time of your next bow. Simple, easy. Best bow perk in the game. Best bow in. Alright, next we got Assassin's Blade. Yay! Because we love Assassin's Blade here. I'm just joking. I couldn't tell if you knew I was joking. I'm just joking. So Assassin's Blade, after every kill, you get increased movement speed on your sword. Yeah, this is useless. You only run two things on a sword, which is Whirlwind Blade and and Relentless Strike, so you get ammo back and you get extra damage after every time you hit. So this is garbage. This probably shouldn't be here, but it doesn't matter. Garbage. Anyway, auto loading holster. You can never really go wrong on auto loading holster. This is mostly for specials, so you don't ever really want to roll a kinetic with auto loading unless you really are not taking the time, or you really don't like reloading. If it's a slow reload, I guess, but a lot of times auto loading holster specials, it's very balanced. There's nothing broken about it. All right, so we got backup plan next, and I'll be honest with you, I had to go do something right quick, and then as I was working on what I was doing in between now and getting back, I really thought about backup plan, and backup plan, honestly, in good faith, I know this might sound insane. In good faith, I can't actually put backup plan on S tier as the best pick for fusion rifles anymore. One, because backup plan, you don't really see, there aren't that many fusion rifles in the game, which is an atrocity. First of all, and secondly, I think we've only gotten three new fusion rifles. We've gotten the Garden of Salve one, the Glacial Chasm from the Dawning, and then the fusion rifle from Beyond Light. I'm pretty sure those are the last three that come to mind. I'm trying to just comb through my lexicon. Actually, no, and we got four. We got four. We got Hollow Words from Season of Arrivals, but that's only four. And a lot of those the only one that I know of that rolls with backup plan is the Zealots. I think it's Zealots Reward, which is the Garden of Salve fusion rifle, which is a rapid fire frame, so it doesn't have that much range, and you just shoot really fast, and it doesn't do a lot of damage. So the other thing about backup plan that is that is like not problematic but not as good. Backup plan a lot of the times because of power creep in the game just gets straight up outclassed by other perks in the game. So I'm talking, where is it? Threat. This perk, Surplus, which is honestly top 3 perks in the game, but we'll get to that later. Gets outclassed by Surplus, gets outclassed by Killing Wind, which is the straight up the best perk in the game. Like there's no if, ands, or but. The Killing Wind is just straight up the best perk in the game. So backup plan again, it's great. It's perfect for fusion rifles. However, it's like, well, why would I get backup plan when I can just get Killing Wind or Surplus or literally anything else on it? So with that being said, I'm just gonna put backup plan in A, balanced. Not even over the focal point of balance, solely because power creep exists. So then we got Bottomless Grief, which is a new perk. So if you're the last standing fire team, the last standing member in your fire team, every kill you get replenishes all of your ammo. That's kind of cracked and broken. It's kind of dumb, and like it seems really strong. However, the only prereq is that you have to be the last standing fire member in your team, which, to be honest with you, in high level activities shouldn't really be the thing if you're actually playing it right. So this perk is strong, but I'm gonna put it in A for right now, and then next time if we really need to work on it, we can just move it up depending on how strong it gets. But as of right now, this perk's nuts, but it's also balanced. Anyway, we got Box Breathing. So Box Breathing, if you ADS for a short time, your next sniper rifle shot gets increased damage. Not like Whispered Breathing, which is the catalyst for Whisper of the Worm, where after you ADS for a short amount of time, all of your shots get the bonus damage. Yeah, Box Breathing is not great. It's not good. It's only really good on the first shot because none of the other shots get the Box Breathing buff. It's really yeah, this break is garbage, y'all. I'm not gonna say it's garbage. First, for an opening shot, you can do a lot of damage, but because it doesn't apply to the rest of the magazine, there's not really a use for this. So this goes here in the B. Anyway, Celerity, I think this is how it's pronounced, Celerity. Yeah. So I'll tell you this before we continue. I was capping on this perk, right? So Celerity, when you're the last standing fire team member, you get increased handling, flinch resist, and regen. I'm pretty sure. Those are the 3 things that this perk gives you, and it's really a crucible perk, but it's useful in PvE. Again, last standing fire team member, you can get use out of it. The only thing about this perk, because it is good. Like, the buffs that it gives you is good. However, this is good against solo queue. This is good in solo queue, and then it's not really that great in stacks, because if you're playing against stacks, a lot of times if there's 3 of them and there's only 1 of you, they just run at you and you kind of just fall over. So it's really not bad. It's just not great in all situations. So it's definitely getting the B plus for me, because yeah, it's strong. However, because it's situational and very situational, honestly, because if you're against a 3 stack, that's not going to do anything, or if you're in like control, it's not going to do anything. This is it can be a dead perk on some of your guns. So as it is right now, strong, but not viable on every gun. So we got Chain Reaction next. I'll be honest with you, Chain Reaction is going right into S tier. Like there's no if, ands, or but about Chain Reaction, dog. Chain Reaction is dumb. Like it's really dumb. Chain Reaction, for those of you who do not know and are new to the game and want to learn about perks in the game, this is honestly top 5 perks. I know I said Killing Wind and Surplus were top 5 perks. This is definitely up there in top 5 perks in the game. So every kill that you get calls an elemental explosion matching the element type of your gun, and the elemental explosion itself does a lot of damage. A lot of times the elemental explosion is enough to kill rank and file or red bar ads that are in the explosion itself, and it gets increased damage or increased radius from Dragonfly. So currently in the game right now, you can farm Battle Batu with Dragonfly with Chain Reaction and Wellspring, and you kind of just steamroll everything that exists. Or my favorite, Salvager Salvo, that gets both Ambitious Assassin, and Chain Reaction, so you get 2 grenades in your tube, and both of them proc Chain Reaction. Yeah, this thing's cracked. This thing is cracked. Absolutely broken. Beyond belief. But hey man, it's still fun. Still gotta get a kill. Get activated, but yeah. Chain Reaction's up there. So next we got Clown Cartridge. Clown Cartridge, when you reload, you get a random amount of overflow in your magazine, and it's honestly pretty nice. I know you can roll this on grenade launchers. You can actually roll this on Tomorrow's Answer. I'm not sure about in the Season of the Chosen hunt version if you can still roll it with Clown Cartridge. You should be able to, but it's still great. Clown Cartridge is never a bad perk because you overflow your magazine. Especially on Tomorrow's Answer, you get 2 rockets, and if you know anything about that Trials rocket launcher, it's really strong. It has insane blast radius, and it just eats everything that moves. So, Clown Cartridge, not S tier because it doesn't break the game, but it's definitely A+. It's 100% A+, and you don't have to worry about anything. Next we got Cluster Bomb. So, Cluster Bomb, another rocket perk that is pretty nuts, honestly. With the rocket buff, so everything gets 30% damage against bosses and mini bosses and regular bosses. Cluster Bomb is back in the meta, not as strong as it was before because Chain Reaction exists, and a lot of times you want Chain Reaction over Cluster Bomb, but it's still good. It's still really good. With the damage that you get, it goes right to A+, because it's not so much about the Cluster Bomb damage that really makes it nice. It's more so the area that you get to deny. So you just blow up a group of ads, and then afterwards there's just more explosions. So they literally cannot move. They just can't move anywhere. So anything that was left alive should pretty much fall over. So hey. Here we are. Demolitionist just got nerfed. It's on an internal cooldown. I personally, there are very few guns that I actually want Demolitionist on. For example, a fusion rifle is what I want Demolitionist on. And honestly, that's about it. Demolitionist is great. It gives you your energy back from gives you grenade energy back, and then grenade kills actually reload the magazine, which I didn't know. It reloads it from reserves. I just found that out this season. It's great. This is just not the end all be all, and it already got nerfed. So yeah, it's going in A. Still good. Still really good. You can't just spam a bunch of kills to get it back. Oh, also Demolitionist on the 7-serve SI. That's the only other gun that I use Demolitionist on, because the SI is actually, you can kill things pretty fast with that sidearm. So those are the only 2 I use it on. Oh yeah, Desperado. Man, you want to talk about a perk that's cracked? If killing when surplus are 1 and 2, Desperado is 100% number 3. There is no reason this perk itself should be back in the game, and it's super toxic. For those of you who don't know, Desperado is a perk that drops only on high impact frame pulse rifles. And the only two pulse rifles that get it are Ridrick's Broadsword, which is Sunset, and the Messenger, which is the new Trials pulse rifle. And after a precision kill, your RPM just straight up doubles. So if anybody gets a precision kill with a Messenger, you literally cannot fight them ever again until Desperado runs out. So yeah, that's not. This perk 100% is way too strong and needs to get nerfed. Cause man, it is very Desperado is oppressive. It is just oppressive. That's all I gotta say about this perk. It is oppressive. Disruption break. When you break an elemental shield, they take increased damage from kinetic sources. It rolls on Arbalest, which is cracked right now because the target acquisition is really broken. But anyway, yeah, this is garbage. Don't use this. This is honestly, box breathing gets more use than disruption break. Yeah, it's cool that you get increased kinetic damage, but like anything else would have been better. Swash is better. Rampage is better. So this is honestly useless, but hey, there's some uses for it. Like, I wouldn't even say there's some uses for it. There was uses for it back in year 2, Forsaken year. There were uses for it back then, but not anymore. Because you just do so much damage with other styles that this is literally not. I don't know why this is a perk anymore. Anyway, Dragonfly. B+. Only reason why Dragonfly is B+ is because Dragonfly is only useful in PvE. A lot of these other perks are good in both PvE and PvP. Bottomless Grief obviously is more of a no, even in PvP, if you get a kill, you get all your ammo back, so you keep fighting. Broken. This refunds energy after every kill. It's cracked. It is very rare that you get a PvP kill with Dragonfly, but when you do, you pop off. But it's just balance. It's just a little bit under the focal point of balance, honestly, because regular Dragonfly by itself is not good, but Dragonfly with Dragonfly spec is what makes it strong. And because you need a mod for it to make it strong, that's why it's sitting in B. Still good, just not as strong as these other 5 perks in the game. Dual Loader. This is going straight into C. Do not use dual loader. Don't get me wrong, is real cool because you get to reload 2 of your bullets back into your shotgun. However, why not just reload it or use a reload mod on your shotgun? It's way faster. It's 100% way faster, and there's no downtime. There's no downtime like there is in when you're using dual loader on your perks. Because you can shoot, yeah, but you have to wait till the magazine updates for you to shoot, when you can just put one slug in regularly and then shoot immediately. So I wouldn't use dual loader. I wouldn't ever use dual loader. This perk is trash. Dynamic sway, a little bit under the focal point of balance, because dynamic sway only applies to auto rifles. Really, not really using an LMG with dynamic sway. And with the screen shake nerfs on LMGs and SMGs, dynamic sway probably doesn't do anything for them anymore. So this is only, you know what? This doesn't even get a B+. It goes into B. This only works on. This is only useful on auto rifles, and it's 600 auto rifle or 600 RPM auto rifles. That's really it. That's about it. Hey man. But at least it's useful, more useful than this and this. Shouts out to all my dynamic sway mains out there. Just Man. Anyway, elemental capacitor. It's going to A plus. Going straight to A plus. It's not absolutely cracked out of his mind like these three are. Argus Temple being the best bow perk in the game. Chain reaction being one of the best perks in the game, flat, and then Desperado being overall just straight up broken. Elemental capacitor, what makes it great is on solar you get increased reload speed, on arc you get increased handling, and I'm pretty sure on void you get increased stability. So once you swap between the three subclasses, you get an exponential buff in either of them, which it's really strong. And it also stacks with quick draw. So I like to run my Astral Horizon with quick draw elemental capacitor on arc and kind of just eat everything alive. But because there's no stasis, and I don't know what you would do on stasis, it's not S tier. But it's still really strong. On guard. So you get, after every kill, you get more weapon swap speed. If it's not Relentless Strikes or Whirlwind Blade, it's not good. That's all you have to know about swords. Sword perks. We got Explosive Arrow. So Explosive Arrow is in B. It's still it's okay. Like, it's not the strongest because Arch's Temple exists. But if because you can't crit on explosive tip arrows, which is like the main thing. You can't crit on them, and because of that, you need 2 body shots, which isn't like it's not like terrible. However, by the time you get your second shot out, and if you're fighting anyone with a hand cannon, you kind of just fall over. Or if you really fight anyone, you kind of just fall over because you can't crit. So it's okay. However, explosive payload, which would be down here, actually goes up to A because of 120 hand cannons. 120 hand cannons with explosive payload is honestly just it's a bit too strong. That archetype of hand cannon has single-handedly made this perk viable, but only on that hand cannon, which is why it's not higher, because you get the extra, even if you, because explosive payload still, you don't do as much damage as you would because there's still an explosion. However, because 120 hand cannons do so much damage, it doesn't matter. So you're honestly getting an extra little bit of damage that you would, so it's easier to kill somebody. You would only need like one headshot and just a couple body shots and you're straight. Which is why explosive payload exists, to make your job even easier than it would be before. So it's wild. This is man, I can't believe 120. I'm not even mad about the 120 hand cannons because I knew they'd be good. I just wish they needed a little bit of a tune down. That's about it. And other than that, I'm Gucci. Eye of the Storm. This is what we got next. Eye of the Storm is going in B plus because this is a Crucible perk, and well, it's a Crucible perk and really only viable on a few guns. Like if you get Eye of the Storm on a sniper rifle, it's not that bad. You get Eye of the Storm on a scout rifle like Trustee, like I have Eye of the Storm surplus on mine. It's really good. Eye of the Storm on a bow, like Point of the Stag, which is gonna get sunset, is another one that's really good. So Eye of the Storm in Crucible is not bad. It's not really a use for it in PvE activities because a lot of the times you don't need the extra accuracy, but it's there. It's there, and but hey, man, it's still under. It's a bit under the focal point of balance solely because it's not good in all situations, but in specific situations, it does make or break a gun. It makes the gun even better. Feeding Frenzy. So, Feeding Frenzy, unlike Eye of the Storm, is going in B solely because it did get nerfed. I think it got nerfed last season, it was either last season or the season before last. It might have been in Arrivals when it got nerfed because all of the reload perks got readjusted or retuned / readjusted. So Feeding Frenzy no longer does what you think it does, where after one kill you get insane reload. You have to stack it up to 5 kills, and stack it up to 5 kills, and then you get every kill you get gives you reload speed. I was gonna word it weirdly. Every kill you get gives you increased reload speed up to 5, and about 3 is like the max amount of reload speed that you want. It's like the perfect amount because it syncs up to outlaw on 3 kills. So, Feeding Frenzy used to be A plus to S tier, borderline S on recluse, solely on recluse, because you could just instantly reload and it wouldn't matter. But because of the nerf, it's really only good on LMGs specifically, because LMGs you can dump out a lot of damage to a lot of ads. So it makes the most sense to have a Feeding Frenzy on LMGs. For example, Thunderlord, you get a kill and then you do splash damage, and then your next kill, next time you reload, you just get the increased reload from the splash damage that you murder people with. So, you know, LMG specific. Other than that, you don't really want this on anything else. Not even an SMG, solely because SMGs are for close range and they don't do enough damage. So here we are. We got field prep. So when you're crouched, you get increased reload speed. This goes down here. This is useless. You ever get field prep on something, just scrap it like immediately. Honestly, even if it's your favorite gun in the game, just scrap it because it's not useful. This is not useful. Fire in line, however, balance. Solely, that should be right here. Balance. Solely because fire in line requires you to have 2 other teammates next to you to get the increased damage, which is a lot of increased damage. So, again, strikes, raids, and stuff, you get the increased damage. But like in solo activities, fire in line is not that great. It's alright. It's still really good. It's just you need your other 2 teammates around you to get the most out of fire in line, which the damage boost for it is significant, but because it requires like teamwork, which perks should require teamwork, or the game should be played with your team, it gets put right in the focal point of balance. Firmly planted is a bit better than field prep, but it's still not that great. It's really, I wouldn't say it's useless, but it's really, you have to be really specific. The specific guns that you want to use this on, i.e. a sniper. I had firmly planted on a fusion rifle that did me pretty good, but it's not. A lot of the times if you see firmly planted, you can just scrap it. There's more times where you can get away with firmly planted over field prep, but a lot of times this if you get either of these two, you want to scrap it because you're not really in a game that involves a lot of movement. It is very rare that you see people either crouching or like staying still because you'll end up dead to something. Flash counter. When you get meleeed, you get increased sword damage. Here's the question. Is it Relentless Strikes? Is it Whirlwind Blade? Then it's not useful. Remember that. Anyway, Frenzy. Yeah, Frenzy's definitely going into A+. Like, it's not broken. However, Frenzy is really strong this season. So Frenzy is a new perk that came out this season of the Chosen. Season of the Chosen, I should say that. This perk came out in Season of the Chosen. So as long as you're in combat, you get increased damage. That also includes your teammates shooting you to put you in combat. You get increased damage. As long as you're damaging something, it gives you increased damage. If ads or something else is shooting you, you get increased damage. And it's a lot of damage. So I got Feeding Frenzy on the new sniper rifle, and it was absolutely bodying things because you can actually hot swap this stuff, and then you can get the frenzy proc. So as long as you're in combat using a different gun and you hot swap to a gun with frenzy, you instantaneously get the damage boost, which is nuts, dude. It is absolutely cracked. I have to test out how much extra damage it actually gives you, but it is a lot. It is a lot of increased damage, dude. Woo! This perk is nice. This perk is real nice and above the focal point of balance. This perk is chef's kiss. All right, full auto trigger system. Gives your guns full auto. Balance. It's not really much to say about that. I think the only current gun that gets this anymore is the Giant 7. But that's about it. I have not seen this perk on anything else other than Giant 7. Because if you get a gun that's full auto, that's like a scout or something, it's usually rapid fire frame, so it's intrinsic, so it doesn't matter. However, full court. Full court is also balance. Focal point of balance. Full court, the longer the distance your grenade launcher shot goes, the more damage it does. So if you cross map snipe somebody with a cross map snipe somebody with a grenade launcher, you kind of do a lot of damage, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a focus points of balance. You use a lot of times you're using full court spike nades, so you can get the most damage. But other than that, this is a great perk the way that it is. All right, nice. So after full court, we got Genesis. Oh boy, Genesis. It goes in B. It's all right. It's not. So Genesis, you break. The cool part about Genesis is you break any shield and it refunds all your ammo in the magazine from reserves. But it requires, the only way to get that is for you to for you to break a shield. So it's cool. It's not really useful in all situations, but if you do, having Genesis is never terrible. But there are definitely better perks in the game that you can get, i.e., all of this. But Genesis, right in this tier, is perfectly fine. It's not OP. It's not broken or anything. It's a really cool funny moment that you get your ammo reloaded. Grave Robber. Grave Robber, I would say, is in B plus, solely because you melee kill something and then you get your ammo reloaded, but I'm pretty sure it requires you have to have the gun out so that it gets reloaded. So you can't just have it stowed, punch something to death, and then you can just whip it back out and it's reloaded. Not that it's terrible, it's just not useful in high level situations, because especially in high level activities, if you're that close, unless it's like a thrall or something, if you're that close to something in those level activities, you kind of just get eaten alive by pretty much anything. Other than like thrall or maybe a scion, but even scions sometimes they hurt. So Grave Robber's not bad. It's just not useful in all situations, especially like when you think about like in PvP, where this perk can be used. Like, yeah, you can melee punch somebody and get your ammo back, but it's more shotgun melee is more reliable, and I'm pretty sure not a lot of shotguns even roll with a Grave Robber anyway, so doesn't really do anything, and you're not getting your ammo reloaded from reserves because you start off with limited special ammo in PvP anyway, so it's alright. It's right under the focal point of balance. The way that it stands now, Grave Robber is perfectly fine. It doesn't need a buff or anything. It's just good where it is. There's not really much to say about that. So we got Headseeker, which is another good point. I actually like Headseeker a lot. I know a lot of people, well, Headseeker is not really good all the time. It's not that good in PvP. I mean, you can say that, but Headseeker on high impact frames, pulse rifles can 2-tap you. Like, reliably. And if it's not a 2-tap, it definitely puts you at 1 HP, so you can't peek him again. So, again, Headseeker sometimes isn't the end-all be-all on all guns, but it's really useful, and it's the focal point of balance because you have to hit a body shot in order to get the Headseeker boost damage. So, if you're not... It's good because it gives you extra damage, and at the same time, it's a bit counterintuitive because if you're not headshotting somebody, they have a chance to just straight up beat you. But hey, on a pulse rifle where one body shot can make your next 2 shots do increased damage. It's not bad. It's really not bad, and it comes in clutch a lot of the times. So next we got high impact reserves. High impact reserves also focal point of balance. At the bottom half of your magazine, you just straight up get increased damage, which is never bad. It's on the curated Chattering Bone right now, and it's just really good. It's just overall good. It's just an extra little bit of damage after you spray down a bunch of ads. You get more damage at the end of it. Nothing to write home about. It's just really, really good. Hip fire grip, another really good perk. Again, you hip fire. They actually, I wouldn't say they reworked it, but they definitely buffed the magazine, or they buffed this perk so that hitting headshots from hip fire is a lot more reliable than it was before. So they increased the accuracy, the hit scan. So last word. That's another reason why last word was back in the meta last season, is because hip fire grip got buffed, and it's a lot more. It's just straight up a lot more reliable. You can never go wrong with hip fire grip. Especially, I'm pretty sure you can get hip fire grip on bows, hip fire grip on auto rifles, SMGs especially can abuse hip fire grip anyway because they're very accurate from the hip anyway, and you don't lose any mobility. So hip fire grip SMGs are nice. Hip fire grip pulses can be nice because when you're getting rushed at, you can abuse hip fire grip so you can still hit headshots on somebody that's closing in on you if you don't want to ADS. So hip fire grip, again, focal point of balance, it's really good, really strong. So we got this new perk, which is Impulse Amplifier. So Impulse Amplifier makes the Impulse Amplifier we have here. So Impulse Amplifier makes it so that any projectile that you shoot from your gun has straight, just gives it a flat increased velocity. This rolls with the new bow, Imperial Needle, which is nuts. You first of all, you shoot that bow, you draw that bow really fast anyway, and the fact that you can get to your target even faster than you normally would is pretty hot. So there's low chances that people can actually dodge it. It makes the rocket have increased velocity. Okay, so here's the thing. Not only does it increase velocity, but it also increases your reload speed. For your projectile. So it's good on the new rocket. Coduello is insane with this perk. It's freaking nice. Imperial Needle with this perk, nice. It's really icy and it's really good and it's balanced. It's not too OP because you can still dodge the stuff, but making sure that it gets to your targets faster is what really makes this perk very strong and very useful. Next we got the Iron Banner weapons. So this is, hold on. Let me just double check because I have the chart, and the Iron Banner weapons throw me for a loop sometimes. All right, so then we got Iron Gaze, which is the one that gives you. Hold on, because see these ones throw me through a loop sometimes. So let me just give me 1 second so I can remember which one is which. All right, because we have Iron Gaze first. So this is the one that gives you more target acquisition at the cost of range. Alright, cool. So I want to make sure. And then Iron Grip, which is the next one afterwards, gives you more stability at the cost of, I think it's more stability at the cost of handling. And then we have Iron Range, which is a new one, which gives you more range at the cost of stability. So here's what you need to know about these perks. They all go in A tier. None of these perks are bad. They are balanced, and it does, even if there are very little times where getting one of these perks is bad. It's a good perk. All 3 of these perks are really good Iron Banner perks, and with the new SMG with Iron Gaze, or not Iron Gaze, Iron Reach, which is this one, makes it so that the new submachine gun turns into an auto rifle straight up. Like it's not a joke. It just straight up turns into an auto rifle. So yeah, next we got Kickstart, which is a new trials perk for the fusion rifle only, Exile's Curse. So Kickstart essentially, well, it only is on the the new fusion rifle, or the new old fusion rifle, I should say. It just got retuned for this season. So when you sprint and then slide, your next the charge for your next Fusion rifle shot does increase damage. So that's all you need to know. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It unlike backup plan, where it just gives it to you straight up flat, you have to do a little bit extra step. But anything to increase your fusion rifle charge is never bad. All right, so we got kill clip. Yeah, this is going like right here. Kill clip is balanced. You need to kill, and then you can increase damage after you reload. It's just good on anything. There's never a time where kill clip isn't good on something. It's freaking kill clip. It's right at the focal point of balance. You don't really got to worry about much. It's pretty aight. It's pretty aight. Killing Wind. Yeah, so this is S tier. This is arguably the best perk in the game because it gives you handling, it gives you movement speed, and it gives you range on kills. Handling, movement speed, and range, the three best things that you can have in the game. So you can do more damage down longer distances, you can move faster, and you can hot swap the stuff faster or ADS faster after every kill. Yeah, Killing Wind is it's Killing Wind, as one of the cool kids said in our clan Discord, is sleeper OP. But this is honestly one of the best perks in the game. One of the best perks in the gosh darn game. Time payload makes your rockets that's not time payload. That's a lasting impression. Makes your rockets act like time payload. So when you shoot them, they stay underground for a little bit, and then after a short duration, they just straight up explode. So that's good. It's pretty good. Nothing to write home about. It's just time payload on a rocket. So hey, here we are. Blood for gold. Never bad. Anytime you pick up heavy ammo, it gives you special ammo. Great perk. If you get it on a special weapon, it's never terrible. It's literally never terrible to have blood for gold. Easy. Moving target. Moving target is in B+ because this is only a crucible perk. You don't really get much worth out of this in PvE stuff, but it you don't really get much work for this out of PvE stuff. It's only a crucible perk. It really only functions well in crucible because when you ADS, you maintain your normal movement speed, but like in PvE stuff, when you're ADSing, maintaining your normal movement speed doesn't really matter that much all the time. Because if you're ADSing, you're just sniping stuff or you're just aiming, and you're not in like a constant gunfight where things are moving all the time except for like taking enemies. That's about it. But other than that, it's not really any use for PvE in there. So PvP perk B+. We got Mulligan next. Mulligan is just going into B because you have a chance to, every time you miss a bullet, you have a chance to get it back. It's alright. It's okay. It actually works with ATB, so when you ATB shields, you're guaranteed to get bullets back. And there's other stuff in the game where Mulligan procs from anti-barrier. I just can't remember them all, but it's okay. Mulligan isn't terrible. And if you can get ammo back for missing, hey, that's great. Doesn't really matter. Same with multi-kill clip. Multi-kill clip got introduced with Season of the Drifter, and I don't want to say that it's trash because it's definitely not trash. However, you really need to get 3 kills to get the most out of multi-kill clip, and it rolls on stuff like SMGs, which have low magazines a lot of the time, and you can't shred through 3 enemies that fast. So it's going in B. It gives you extra damage, so it's not terrible. It's just going in B. Rangefinder. That's not rangefinder. That's freaking no distractions. My bad. I was looking at rangefinder when I said that. No distractions. Goes in A tier. It's balanced. You have to ADS for a short bit so that you can get an unflinching shot on your next shot, and it rolls on Izanagi's, and it's never terrible. It also rolls on LMGs, which is not terrible, so you can't get flinched into oblivion, and you can guarantee shots. I think unflinching. Not unflinching. No distractions on sniper rifles now with the new sniper rifle change is going to be a lot more valuable than it would be before. So if you get no distraction on something, good job. You won half the fight. Now the next half is just actually hitting the shot. So congratulations, you won. One for all. Now I have mixed reviews about One for All. A lot of my homies say that this perk is good, but in my opinion, it's not. It's not that great. One for All, if you hit three separate targets with your bullets, you get a short damage boost. Uh, One for All for me makes sense mostly on rocket launchers because the splash damage from rocket launchers can increase the damage of your next rocket, and I know the new one of the new rocket launchers in the game gets it, but like is it on like auto rifles, on SMGs? Even though you can just spray with an SMG and get the short damage boost, I personally don't like it solely because if I just get a gun with where is it at? Where is it at? Kill clip. There we go. If I get a gun with kill clip, I can shoot one thing and kill it and have a damage boost for because I'm pretty sure this is for 7 and then killing wind is for 10. So you just have 10 seconds of more damage. So uh if you have a different opinion, you can prove me wrong. That's totally fine. Just I honestly think killing with all the other perks that increase your damage are just better than One for All IMO. But hey, it's just my opinion. However, I have put in over 2,000 hours on this game, so hey man, I definitely have mastered it in some way or capacity. 1-2 punch. 1-2 punch is going to A tier. It's good in any situation, really. If you get 1-2 punch on a shotgun, you're pretty much vibing. Especially 1-2 punch in Gambit, where you can stun lock the bosses. Yeah, that's like one of the main things. You can stun lock bosses in Gambit with 1-2 punch. 1-2 punch top tree hunter when you have a billion recov is also nice. It's never a bad perk to have, and it's well balanced because you have to hit all of the pellets in order for you to get the 1-2 punch proc. So you actually gotta hit stuff. You can't just hit half of your pellets and be like, haha, increase damage. It's really great. I like using 1-2 punch shotgun on Atrax with Anarchy. Man, it's icy. I tell you what, it's icy. Opening shot. Opening shot. Oops. I gotta swap these two with me. There we go. You know what? Actually, I'm putting opening shot in A plus because it's above the focal point of balance. Because opening shot makes it so that on your first bullet, arrow, or whatever sniper shot, you have increased range and accuracy with it. So opening shot is really strong, especially on Fellwinter's Lie, where the extended range from opening shot ends up getting you a lot of kills from ranges that you really shouldn't be getting them at. But hey, man, I didn't design the game. But again, opening shot is a bit above the focal point of balance. Example, Fellwinter's Lie, which everyone can get, even though it's getting sunset next season. It's really strong. It is honestly, it's really up there. I wouldn't say it's S tier yet, but it's definitely something. If you get it, you can never go wrong with having an opening shot on pretty much any gun. Osmosis is going into B. Osmosis, when you use your grenade, your kinetic gets an element type. It's good for farming. That's not true. It's not only good for farming. There's actually tech with Osmosis that you can do now with the new Warlock chest piece, Mantle of Battle Harmony, where elemental damage matching your subclass increases your super regen for a short duration, and then once you have your super, you get after every kill, you get increased damage on weapons with the matching element type. So Osmosis would get a bump from that into B plus, but at one exotic making it viable is not enough to not enough to move it up the list, because they're just, what about the other two classes, or what about other exotics where osmosis is not that great? So again, Osmosis is good for farming bounties, not really much anything else. It's still better than field prep. I tell you what, it's still better than field prep and dual loader and disruption breed. Overflow. It's going right into A. It's going right into A. Any special ammo you get refills the magazine. That's all you gotta, or not refills the magazine. It overflows the magazine to double. That's all you need to know. Having a summoner with 84 bullets and dragonfly, it's kind of nice. It's kind of icy, and overflow can make. The funny part is overflow can make a lot of the bad perk combinations good solely because overflow overflows your magazine. The name implies all of it. So anyway, pulse monitor, it's B. You get a critical, it reloads your gun, even if it's stowed. Even if it's stowed, yeah, that should be. I'm leaving it in B. It, it I, over pulse monitor is cool. It's just not useful all the time, because if you're a lot of times in Crucible, if you're in critical or if you're like in critical in a PVE encounter, there are very high chances that you're just gonna straight up die. Like if you don't manage your movement wisely. That's the main thing. So quick draw, again, one of the best perks in the game. Is going right into A+. If you get anything with quick draw, a lot of times it's viable solely because quick draw increases your handling. You can just pull out your gun at whatever speed. Again, Felwinter's lie. Quick draw opening shot is stupid. So here we are. Quick draw opening shot. Rampage got nerfed a while back, but it's still good. It's going in A tier. Can't go wrong with Rampage. After every kill, you get increased damage up to 3 times, and then with Rampage spec, it increases the duration of the damage increase. It's fantastic. Rangefinder. Yeah, Rangefinder is definitely going into A+. Rangefinder on hand cannons is dumb because it extends the range of the drop off, and having any drop off increase at any point in time on a hand cannon is just nuts. It like, yeah, you can get it on other guns, but rangefinder on a hand cannon literally just it's kind of toxic, honestly. So rangefinder goes in A+. That's all you need to know. Get rangefinder on Hawkmoon, you kind of just eat everything. Anyway, but killing one would still be better. Rapid hit, A+. Any easiest thing to explain rapid hit, all headshots you get up to 5 times increases your reload speed, but I think at minimum you need to hit 2 to match the old reload speed of ×1 rapid hit before it got nerfed in the reload patch. So it's cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty hot. Not gonna lie. Can't go wrong with rapid hit on can't go wrong on rapid hit on like hand cannons, on scout rifles. That's really the only thing that it rolls on, and it rolls on sniper rifles, because I'm pretty sure rapid hit triple tap long shadow is still one of the highest DPS guns in the game. So rapid, really balanced. Recombination. So any elemental kill up to 10 times makes your next shot do increased damage. It does increase damage in proportion to how many stacks of recombination, up to 10 that you have. So this is cool. Hey, redirection. Your gun will reload itself up to double your regular capacity. Really good. It's not bad. It's an A. Both of these are A. And then this is misdirection or redirection. So after after a bunch of red bar kills, your next bit of damage to a yellow bar does increase damage. It's going in B+. It's not as strong as these two, because this can increase your damage upwards to 20k. This straight up doubles your magazine size. This is okay in compared to these two, even though it's more damage, but it's only more damage against yellow bars. Whirlwind Blade. It's going in A. It's the only perk on swords that you run. Seraph Rounds. Again, this is the only one that that runs like this is the only like bullet perk that I put in here, but because it's so unique, I put it in here so it bounces off hard surfaces and it gives you increased range, and I'm pretty sure it also over penetrates. Yeah, this is going right in here. Seraph rounds are never bad. Seraph rounds are never bad. I think this is actually Relentless Strike. Shattered Blade. No. It's not Whirlwind Blade, and it's not Relentless Strikes. Anyway, Shield Disorient. The only notable gun that gets Shield Disorient is Jotun's. And any shield break you get actually disorients enemies. So it's actually not bad. It's better than Disruption Break because you can disorient enemies. So I'm putting it in B+. Still not what you want on most things, but if you get it, you can never go wrong with it. Slideways. It's going in A+. Again, mine. You see how 1, 2, 3 are Felwinter's Lie weapon perks? They're going in A+, because this reloads your gun and it gives you increased range on the next shot. Stacked with this, you have more range on top of it. So Slideways is also going up here because it also reloads your magazine, gives you more, and it gives you more handling, and I think it gives you more handling and accuracy, while this gives you a reload and more range. So similar things, but they do two different things. Snapshot sights, again, this is a mostly a crucible perk, but ADSing any faster all the time or at any time is useful. So Sneak Bow is going in B, because it's only useful in Crucible, so when you shoot your arrow shot, you don't show up on the radar, which is nice, but it's really specific to the point that any other perk like Archer's Tempo or Impulse Amplifier would just be better than not showing up on the radar because you can shoot faster. So anyway, Subsistence, yeah, that's a lot of times if you get Subsistence on a gun, it's a dead gun. You just scrap it and you get something else, solely because your reserves get reduced, and after every kill, you get your ammo reloaded from reserves. But with the shrinkage in reserves, you run out of ammo. You just run out of ammo all of the time. So that's all you get from me. Surplus, introduced in Beyond Light launch. S. There's no argument about it. The more abilities you have, the more handling you have on your guns and reload speed. This thing is broken. This thing is absolutely broken. Yeah, top five. Surplus. Surrounded. It's going in B. If you're surrounded by enemies, you do more damage, but that only applies in PvE. And if you're surrounded by enemies in PvE, you're if you're surrounded by enemies in PvE, you're not managing the ads well. So there's not really ever an opportunity you should use Surrounded should be active, but if it is and you die, it's kind of your fault. So, hey, terrible. Swash, going in A. It's increased damage and it's really easy to get, and if you punch something and it falls over, you get ×5 Swash. It's pretty simple. It's like Rampage or Kill Clip. You just get a kill and you get more damage. Sympathetic Arsenal is going in B+. Any kill that you get using the weapon that has Sympathetic Arsenal reloads your special and it reloads your heavy, which is fine. That's it. It just reloads your gun, even though they're stowed. It's totally fine. It's not like the best, but if you get it, you can't go wrong with it. Similar to like Shield Break or Misdirection or Moving Target, they're pretty high. It's just not useful in all situations. Tap the Trigger, also in B+. It's only useful on auto rifles and submachine guns. At the start of your magazine, or when you start shooting, it gives you increased accuracy at the start. Accuracy and targeting, so it's alright. Threat Detector, dead perk. You roll this. If you roll something with threat, you just scrap it immediately. Thresh. Let me tell you about Thresh. So Thresh is going in A. Now, the reason I'm putting Thresh in A and not A+ and or higher is because Thresh after every kill gives you increased super regen or super energy after every kill, which is pretty cool. However, after you actually get your super, Thresh is just a dead perk. That's what really holds it back. If Thresh did something else after your super was full, it'd be good. But then that'd be Battle Harmony, the new Warlock exotic. So as it stands now, Thresh is balanced solely because once you get your super, it's a dead perk. That's really the only way that it's balanced. So it goes right into A, the focal point of balance. Time payload, uh, time payload. I'm putting in B plus. I was gonna put it in A, but it's really only. I think the only gun that gets time payload is the Seven Seraph Officer of Revolver, and it's alright. It's good for stunning overloads, honestly, because well, back when hand cannons got overload on it, it's good for stunning that, and it's good for stunning unstoppables. But other than that, it's okay. It's more so annoying in PvP than it is good, but hey man, it's fine. Tireless Blade. Is it Whirlwind Strikes or Relentless Strikes? It goes right in the or Whirlwind Blade or Relentless Strike. It goes right into C. Doesn't matter. Tracking module. It's tracking module on a rocket. You can never go wrong with that. Trench Burrow. Trench Burrow's going into A. You melee once and then your next 3 shots get increased shotgun damage. Or you melee once and your shotgun's next 3 shots get increased damage. Used to be OP on the Achilleos shotgun, but it got nerfed. But it's still really good. It's honestly still pretty good. So it gets put into A. Triple tap. Triple tap, triple tap, triple tap. A. It's balanced. It's nice and balanced. After your 3rd shot. Oh, you know what I forgot in here? Whoops. I forgot 4th time's a charm is not on this list. That's unfortunate. 4th time's a charm would be in B plus because it takes more shots than triple tap, but it's still alright. I like triple tap better because it only takes 3 shots and it's useful on all things SMGs, auto rifles, sniper rifles, hand cannons. It's so good. Under pressure also goes in A. When you get to the bottom half of your magazine, you get increased handling, stability, which is never bad. I like it on fusion rifles. This is really good. Underdog. Yes, this perk is useless. If you get this, you just scrap it. I'm not even going to tell you what it does. If you get this, just scrap it. Unrelenting is going into A. After 3 kills or a major enemy kill, you get health regen. The best perk combo in the game used to be Killing Wind Unrelenting, but with Surplus existing the way that it does, it's like these two. Vorpal Weapon is going to S. Increased damage against any boss. Flat. Shit's cracked. Let's see. Wellspring regens your abilities on kills. It's absolutely cracked. Top 5. Whirlwind Blade is the one that hitting stuff increases your damage on a sword. Freaking cracked. And then last but not least, we have Zen Moment, which is going into A. And every time you hit something, you get more stability. So that's pretty much it. That's all the perks except for 4th time's a charm, which I'm surprised I missed that, but it's fine. 4th time's a charm would be here anyway. But yeah, that's it. We're done. If you have any comments, let me know. But it's pretty balanced, honestly. You've got your B pluses here because these are they're just a little underpowered, but they're still good. These are very specific use in all these. These are pretty much useless. And then you got your A, which is filled with all of your perks that are balanced. Can never go wrong with having any of these perks. Your A plus, which you prioritize a bit more with perks. And then your S tiers, which are like, man, if you get these perks, you kind of just destroy everything. Just straight up. So you want to hear top 5 perks in the game? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this would be 6. This would be 6. So these 6 are your top 6 perks in the game. So again, got any comments, let me know. Leave it in the description. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. We are out here. Sorry I had to cut and do like a bunch of stuff. There's like a bunch of stuff happening in my house. So here we are. If you enjoyed the video, I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you guys later. Bye.